Hello, good morning or afternoon, whatever it is.
Good sometime of the day to you.
Yeah.
I'm Jennifer.
I'm Reed.
And welcome to another Faith at Home listening practice.
Mm-hmm.
We're here today to listen with Psalm 34, the last half. That's verses 11 through 22. And we're listening today again in the Message translation. We're coming towards the end of season 1 of this Faith at Home podcast series.
Yeah.
As we have been sitting with the Message translation, it's been a wonderful gift. A gift to listen both to the words and to your stories and experiences.
Yes. So we're going to read through the second half, 11 to 22 of this chapter, and we're listening for God to speak to you, to speak to me. God will speak to you. Just listen to something that sticks out, a word or a phrase, maybe a concept that you sort of surprised you or whatever. So that's what we're doing.
You might want to have a pen and a
Yes.
paper or a book. We like to have our listening book here nearby. Helps me as I keep track and pay attention for what the Divine Family is saying to me, to us over time. So, listening for a word or a phrase. Psalm 34, verses 11 to 22. Come, children, listen closely. I'll give you a lesson in God worship. Who out there has a lust for life, can't wait each day to come upon beauty? Guard your tongue from profanity and no more lying through your teeth. Turn your back on sin. Do something good. Embrace peace. Don't let it get away. God keeps an eye on God's friends. God's ears pick up every moan and groan. God won't put up with rebels. God will cull them from the pack. Is anyone crying for help? God is listening, ready to rescue you. If your heart is broken, you'll find God right there. If you're kicked in the gut, God will help you catch your breath. Disciples so often get into trouble. Still, God is there every time. God's your bodyguard, shielding every bone. Not even a finger gets broken. The wicked commit slow suicide. They waste their lives hating the good. God pays for each slave's freedom. No one who runs to God loses out.
What struck me was that disciples so often get into trouble, which was, for me, it just was, oh yeah. It's not about doing the right thing, being a disciple, and then everything will be fine. Everything will be good. It's that, yeah, there's always some issue. Don't listen properly, whatever. But God is there every time. I think that's the benefit of being a disciple, though, is that you may go astray, but you can always come back. There's a place to go. And that really stuck out to me, a reminder to me that, yeah, make a mistake, but God is there every time.
Every time. For me, that question, who out there can't wait each day to come upon beauty, really sort of resonates or reverberates in me. You may or may not be aware that core values are something that matter a lot to me, and beauty is one of my core values. And so when I hear the word beauty, it's like there's a flashing neon sign that says, hey, pay attention to this. And so that question reverberates in me. Am I someone who can't wait each day to come upon beauty? Will I keep looking for where the Divine Family is at work to create beauty in my life, in our family, in the lives of the people around us? That's the question that jumps out to me today.
All right. Well, we're going to read this again, but this time listen for an invitation from God. God's going to call you to something, or maybe away from something. I don't know. But it'll be a call to some kind of action. Psalm 34? Yes, 34. 11 to 22 in the Message. Come, children, listen closely. I'll give you a lesson in God worship. Who out there has a lust for life? Can't wait each day to come upon beauty. Guard your tongue from profanity, and no more lying through your teeth. Turn your back on sin. Do something good. Embrace peace. Don't let it get away. God keeps an eye on God's friends. God's ears pick up every moan and groan. God won't put up with rebels. God will cull them from the pack. Is anyone crying for help? God is listening, ready to rescue you. If your heart is broken, you'll find God right there. If you're kicked in the gut, God will help you catch your breath. Disciples so often get into trouble. Still, God is there every time. God's your bodyguard, shielding every bone. Not even a finger gets broken. The wicked commit slow suicide. They waste their lives, hating the good. God pays for each slave's freedom. No one who runs to God loses out.
For me, the invitation that comes out of these words is to embrace peace, to not let it get away. There's something about my choices, my experiences in the midst of circumstances, whatever they might be, that I don't have to let powerlessness be in charge, that I can embrace and hold on to peace and the connection and relationship with the divine family and the community of the beloved. So the invitation to me is to embrace peace. Don't let it get away.
That God hears every moan and groan. That's not really a call, I guess, but that stuck out in my mind, that God is listening and God is there. So not to hold back. Sometimes it feels like I'm abandoned or something, but you're not. I'm not abandoned. God is listening to him. Every moan and groan. And I have lots of moans and groans at times. I complain. And but God is there listening, and God is good and wants to help and is available. So that's to come to God. That's what it is, and to expect God to hear and to listen and to care. That's the invitation for me.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I wonder what invitation stands out to you. And maybe as you've been listening to these Psalms, there are ideas and words and images that are standing out to you. And maybe some of them are really affirming and life-giving, and maybe some of them are causing more questions for you. I'd invite you to find someone to talk to about both sides of that, so that the good life-giving things can be savored and affirmed, and that the questions and challenges and harder things can be shared with a safe and compassionate friend. So, thanks for being with us here today.
Yes, indeed.
And let us know what you are hearing the Divine Family say to you.
Right. Write to us or something.
Have a great day.
And we'll see you again.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.